Oh, that looks okay. All right. Since you all want my opinion on it, I'm going to just say so. I ain't got too much to say about it, as I think I had as many as I was gonna have. But let me talk about it. Let me see what my comrades have to say about this. Uh, all right, guys, welcome to my stream. You know, it's Friday, and I was hoping to have my stream with my mom, but she is not feeling well. And so, because I didn't want to keep you all in suspense, thinking that I was going to come with her and then don't show up, even though I have to go to work in the next 50 minutes or so, I just decided that after all, I would just come on for a few minutes and then just have a little chat with you all, my comrades, my friends, my people out there in the virtual world. I will just have a little chat. You all see the topic? Okay, I said I'm just going to have a little chat about that. I know that of recent days, many people are overly concerned with what a woman does with her womb. And it sort of gets to me. And I thought, you know what? Let me just have this little conversation. Let me see what others think about it. Hold on, my chat isn't popping up yet. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, Kenita. Hey, Laura. How are you doing? Unstoppable Live. Right. Every day, Unstoppable phone is dying. Unstoppable, you need to get a good phone. Get you a portable charger. Do I have to get you a portable charger? You look like you want me to get you a portable charger. I could get you a portable charger. Because all the time your phone dying. You know when you're going on the street, you must have backup. You must have two phones or you must have a portable charger so your phone stays awake. You can't have your phone going to sleep on you, dying on you. All right, guys. So you see the topic that I want to talk about. How many kids? How many is too many for a woman? Since it's becoming the norm where people are paying more attention to other people's wombs than they are theirs. I have 5 children. And I'm going to tell you all a little story before I go any further. Oh, really unstoppable. uh, okay, well, you need to get you one. All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you all for coming. I see my friend Kenita. I see my friend Laura there, and my mentor Unstoppable is there too. All right, guys. So I'm going to tell you all a run-in I had with somebody a few years ago. So a few years ago, when I had only 4 children, I remember talking to a woman, and she said, the conversation went into me saying, I have 4 children, because I've never hidden the fact that how many children I've had for anything or any benefit that it might bring me that I would never know, because I have never hidden the fact about how many children I've had. And at that time, I had only 4 children. And I said to her, well, I have 4 children. And she gasped like, what? You have 4 children? What you doing with 4 children? So I thought, this woman has to be crazy. What do you mean, what am I doing with 4 children? And I couldn't get it. And she says, you ain't got no business having 4 children. I said, hold up, sister, let me stop you right there. I said, you know, when you get the authority to tell me how many children I should have, you know, when you get that authority, anytime you see any one of my children behind you in the food stamp line, then you have that authority. But until then, you don't tell me how many children I should have, and you don't stay there and monitor my womb for me. I don't need that help. And she was offended. I was just laying it out straight. Not any intention to offend her, but just to lay it out straight so she knows. No, don't come at me like that. You're going to gasp because I say I have 4 children. By this time, if I said I had 5, she would have probably had a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? No. So that has stayed with me for a while. I'm like, and I see online all the time, people are just going at people for having their children. Like, what you doing with 4 children? What you doing with 3 children? What you doing with? Can people just stop watching other people's womb? That's the first thing. Secondly, if my children or her children, if my 5, her 6, her 4, her 7 has never asked you for a cup of water, will you just leave the people alone with their children? Can I just ask that? Yeah. Leave people alone with their children. Mind your business. Mind your womb. If you're going to have one, kudos to you. You want one. If you want 10, that's up to you. My only thing with that, though, guys, is that you should not have more children than you are capable of caring for. Because this is not the days when you have children to supply a farm with hands. Those days are long gone. So there's absolutely no excuse for somebody to have more children than they can care for and then be a burden onto society. Then you're going to have people talking, and when you have people talking at that point, you're going to have to lap your tail and keep your mouth shut because you give them something to talk. Because now you've had all these children and now you're begging. Do I make any sense, guys? Let me see what my people are saying in the comments. Because, okay. Oh, yes, Kenita. Oh, yes, honey. People do talk about people, how many children you have. Oh, yes, they do. When you are online and you see people ripping into other people for the number of children they have, you're like, are these people okay, though? Yeah, people are, yes, Lord, people can be so rude. Thank you, Lady Margaret. Thank you, Lady Margaret. Lady Margaret is up in here, guys. And so too, Laura's. I think a woman should have many. She is capable of taking care of, loving, and financial. Exactly. Laura shares my sentiment. You shouldn't have more kids than you are capable of caring for. And if you can't care for your children, what's the point of bringing them in the world to suffer? People talk about, oh, children are a blessing. Certainly, children are a blessing. But when you bring them into this world and you cannot care for them, you make those children turn around and be cursed to society. And you all know I ain't lying. I'm not lying. Because you can't care for them properly. The poor children are distressed, depressed, no education, nothing. And you're just there until they celebrate birthday after birthday after birthday, and then they turn 18. They're out on the street, no plans, no way to fend for themselves. They start robbing and killing and stealing. That's when they become a curse to society. And mothers, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to ensure that you have the number of children that you are capable of caring for. And if you cannot care for them, do not come populating the place with the children and then having them become a burden to society and a burden to other people. And then you get upset when people talk about it. Because I don't know, this set of people talk about tax dollars like they have it at home and somebody come home to their house and take it and give it to somebody. You will hear people talk about, I don't want my tax money take care of nobody with 6 children. You're going to pay the tax, you're going to pay either way. So that is off the table, if you ask me. But if you have to care for the children directly, so if you have to give this woman who is standing at the side of the road with 4 little children who looks like they're about 7 months apart, and she is begging, and you feel the need to help her, go ahead, help her. I don't like people helping people and then cussing them afterwards. That you're going to help them with the 5 kids and then you're going to cuss about it afterwards. If you're going to help them, you help them. If you're helping them to make themselves better rather than giving them a fish, you teach them how to fish, that sort of thing, perfectly fine. But you can't cuss the woman about how many kids she have. Then is why you have so much pitney. Like what? Like what? And like I said, I told that lady several years ago, you only get the chance, the authority, I say, to ask that question if my children are a burden to you, if my children are a problem to you. So unless the children a woman has is a direct problem to you, please don't go around insulting women for using their wombs for what it was made for. Their wombs were made for them to have children. And if you have children, depends on what, Sheldon. That's different when you can't care for them. You are right on that. What did Kenita say right here? Kenita said that's different when you can't care for them, which I agree. But wait a minute, in God's time was a topic. No? Not sure. Yes, Sheldon, everything depends. Depends on what, Sheldon? There you go. There you go. So Lady Margaret says she was only able to take care of 2, so she had to. There are some people who, whatever the circumstances is, whatever it is, you're only able to take care of 2 children, you have 2. There are people who only have 1 children, whether it's by design or desire, they have only 1 child, and they are perfectly comfortable with just 1 child. There are other people who just couldn't see themselves with just 1 child regardless of the circumstance, and one of those people is me. Yes, I couldn't see myself with just 1 child, one dege pitney, unless nature had designed it so. But thank God nature for me didn't design it so. Nature has designed it so for some women to have only 1 child. But I am happy to have 5. I love each of them equally, you know, and I continue to be quite grateful. I agree with you, Sheldon. It all depends. Yes, that's what I said. I said it all depends. You can't just have the kids. Kenita says too much kids sometimes can drive us crazy. Which can be true sometimes, guys. If you have too many children, it can drive you crazy. But where would be the point of you being driven crazy if you have a plan as to how you're going to function with these children? When I first started having children, I had absolutely neither a clue nor a plan. To be honest with you, I had not a clue. I had no plan. Hola, señor Things Jamaica. ¿Cómo está, mi amor? Okay. Oh, Sheldon say you need 1. Sheldon, you told me the other day you were not going to have not 1 more. Now you say you need 1 more. Really? Really? You have a little baby ain't even walking yet, and you need 1 more? A little baby ain't even teething yet, and you need 1 more. But but anyway, guys, let me see what Laura says. How about the women who choose not to have children but get looked on by their families? I think if they know they don't want kids, they are making the right decision. That is it, Laura. People just need to stop judging. There are women who have perfectly great ovaries, perfectly great womb, and they just choose not to have children. Some people just don't want children for whatever reason. That's their business. They don't have to. They don't have to subscribe to the ideas of everybody that if you're a woman, you must show your womanhood by having children. They don't have to subscribe to that at all. Because a lot of people find that their lives might end up being better off without children. Some people feel that way. And that's their choice. They don't have to. I mean, I would hate to live in a society where there is a political whip over my back to say that as a woman, you must have children because you have a womb. You must have children. No. And there are men out there who are adamant that they are not going to impregnate anybody because they don't want the problems that come with fatherhood. So we find it both ways. So I think coming down to the nitty-gritty of it is that, we should not get into the habit of ostracizing people because of the life choices they make. As long as the life choice is not infringing on your rights, it's not bothering you, we need to leave people alone, support each other. If you can't support them, you just leave it alone. It's not bothering you, Thank you for coming here, guys. This is Trev from Trevessence. And as always, I'm talking about something somewhere in the world. And today I'm talking about how many children you think is too many for a woman. I see lots of my friends here. My mentor was here, Unstoppable. I think he ran out. They called him back to the bank. And because he forgot something over there. All right, and then we have I Am Kenita is here. We have Laura, Laura's Kitchen. Guys, if you're here, you can go check out Laura's Kitchen over there. I'm always in Laura's Kitchen filling up my belly over there. There is my friend Sheldon. Sheldon is here. My dear lady Margaret is here. Also, Things Jamaica. Things Jamaica is here, and Stush Pumpkin. Stush Pumpkin is here, guys. Okay. Okay, so Sheldon says his mom has 14. Well, that is perfectly fine. You have lots of siblings. You have lots of siblings to run to, lots of love, lots of support. Gone are the days. Gone are the days. My maternal grandmother had 6. My paternal grandmother only had 3. But, gone are the days when your grandmother. Your grandmother. Sorry, I said your mother. Your grandmother had 14. Gone are the days when people have 14 children and that many children. I've known people who have had that many children. That's perfectly fine. Back in the days, they needed hands. They needed hands. Laura says her neighbor had 16. Her husband had a vasectomy behind his wife's back because he just didn't want any more. So he had a vasectomy. Thank you all for coming, guys. If you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you for coming to my channel. This is Trev from Trevessence. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. You might also want to turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to get notified. And go ahead and check out the videos I have on my channel already. If you have any suggestions, go ahead, let me know. I won't be offended. Okay, Stush Pumpkin says she gave birth to 1 and she got 1 bonus. All right, there you go. That's some people's, design or desire, whichever it is, for having just 1. But the days when people used to need children for the farms, as I said before, those days are long gone. So kids don't just need to be fed some corn from round back and 2 fingers of banana anymore and that sort of thing. The needs of individuals have increased. The needs of individuals have increased these days, guys. So having the children is not the way to go anymore. You can't just have them because you have a womb and you have ovaries. You can't just have them and then expect society to raise them for you. No. I told you when I started having children, I had no clue. I had no clue. I had neither a program nor a plan. None of the above. You know? But I had my daughter, and God blessed my family. God, every day I pray for my mom and my sisters and my aunts and my cousins, and everybody stepped in and everybody helped me out, and I had no clue what was going on. Honestly speaking, I did not even feel like I was a mother. I did not feel, honestly speaking, guys, I did not feel like I was a mother when I had my first child. I still felt like, well, oh well, I was still a teenager. Oh well, okay. I mean, no clue whatsoever what was going on. You know, just know that I stepped out of line and ended up coming back with a baby, and the rest was history, as they say. You know, hello, foreign TTB. And on another live, I will talk about that in depth. But for right now, I'm just saying, you know, that was how I started off. And a lot of people start off like that, where initially they have no clue because they get pregnant, they have a baby, family step in, take care of them. But then if you continue to have children and you're not able to care for them, and you continue to have these children be a burden to your family, to society, to everybody else except you, I knew that was going to open a can of worms. Stush Pumpkin, what do you mean, which line? I stepped out of line. You know which line I'm talking. I stepped out of line. Totally out of line. Okay. Okay. Foreign TTB say he had no clue either. Yes, that's usually what happens, especially when you have your first child, and you have your first child when you are fairly young. You're not even prepared for parenthood. You know, I know for sure I was not prepared. I had no clue. I was I was going to school, and like, I don't know. It's sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I was just going to school, like, I mean, most times that I would be reminded that I was really a mother was when people tried to be ugly, and you know, and would remind you that, you know, you are in school but you already have a child, and be like, oh, okay. You know, like, you know, and sometimes they would say it in the ugliest way, but I mean, I never felt like a mother then. But as I got older and I, you know, came into my own and I had other children and stuff, then you take on the sense of responsibility, because that's what you're supposed to do. And I thank God that I have never had to depend on social services or anything like that to care for my children. I always thank God for that, because you know that those are the things that people hold over your head. Those are the things that people try to use to destroy you. You have the pitney them and you cannot take care of them, and then you are in the food stamp line, you are online begging, you are, you know, people see you as a burden. People see your children as a problem, and there's nothing anybody can do to hurt me more than hurt one of my children. If you hurt one of my children, you have hurt me to the core. So my children are sort of protected. I mean, some people might think I protect them too much. But that is me. That is me. You understand? Because I try to raise all of them into believing in themselves and doing the right thing, contributing positively to society. I don't want them to just be dragged up and shoved out into the world just like that. You know, all my children, when they leave home to go out into the world, they go out prepared to take care of themselves. You know, and I see people saying, oh, the kids reach 18. You are 18, so you're adult. Go on, you'll dep on your own. Go on your own to do what? What is going on with these mothers? On your own to do what? You are 18, you just graduate high school. Yes, you are 18, you are an adult. Society see you as an adult, so go. You're on your own. No provisions for college. No provisions for a trade. No provisions for how this child is going to be able to care for themselves and the potential family they're going to start creating. No plans. Just say, oh, you turn 18, society say you're an adult, go on, go take care of yourself. You all think that is fair? Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. You all think that is fair for parents to do? She says, Kenita says, where was your child, dog? Depending on where. Sometimes, no matter how much you're working, you still need help. Well, Kenita, you know, I agree with you. You do need help. Because trust me, God bless my mom and my family. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't, you know, they were there. And especially when I left Jamaica 20 some years ago and I came to America, I left 3 kids back home. You know, I left 3 kids back home. I mean, their dad was there and, you know, but I still left them. My mom and my sisters had to care for them, and my aunts and everybody else had to care for them until I was able to take them. You know, but that's in a different kettle right now. But right now I'm talking about, she says, where was your child? Which one? At what point? You mean the first one? When? After I had her? I'm not sure. We'll get to that, Kenita. If you. All right. So Lady Margaret says there are people who are working with 2 or more children and fall on hard times and have to be on the system until they get these people paid into the. There you go. All right. So Lady Margaret brought up a great point. There are people who have paid into the system, whether they have 1, 2, or 10, but they're falling on hard times depending, and they have to get onto the system. Of course, yes, I don't have a problem with that. But there are people who has never paid into the system, who lives off the system. Those are the people that worries me. Because somebody who has 2 children or more and she's working, she's taking care of herself, taking care of business, falls on hard times, which we know hard time. A lot of times, hard times is just the lack of 1 paycheck away for a lot of us. A lot of us are just riding on the rim. Yes, we are just riding on the rim. The lack of 1 paycheck, the loss of 1 paycheck could drive a lot of us broke. Okay, that is the truth. But there are just some of us who seem to never learn, and that is the truth. We have them, never put a plan in place. They turn 18 and we chuck them out and say, go on, you're 18 now, you are adult, go take care of yourself. And still, that child has only reached the age of 18, but that child is still not prepared for the world. So I say, women, mothers, families need to prepare children for the world before you dump them out onto society. Because when you dump them out onto society and they cannot care for themselves, there are going to be additional burdens to society. These make people get frustrated, make them get angry, you know, and it sort of breaks down the morale of people. You know, like, your mom hasn't set an example for you as to, in terms of how you're going to care for yourself, hasn't given you a financial helping to go out with. if you know what I mean. Just chuck you out there and say, go ahead, take care of yourself. All right, let's see what my people are saying here. Okay, there we go. Laura says there's no shame in receiving help. Certainly, there's no shame in receiving help. If ever I find myself in a position that I need help, of course, yes, I've been paying into the system for over 20 years. If I find myself I need help, I'm going to go get it. Of course, yes. Why not? I'm going to go seek the help. And even though a lot of us who work, when we go seek the help, they're going to tell us that we haven't been broke long enough. We don't get it. And that is why a lot of people keep having children and never work, because once they start working, they lose the benefits. They lose the free benefits because they're going to say, oh, yes, they're working, not even taking into consideration that they might be working minimum wage, $8 an hour. If you're working $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, 4 8 32, after taxes, you're going home with 2 something. Like, how many people is that supposed to feed? What are you supposed to do with that when you get that for the month, and at the rate at which rent is going these days? You know, so many things. It's just, there are so many factors that you have to put in place that is going to determine how you live and how you raise your children and what you can afford to give them. Number one, if you are not capable of working, of bringing in adequate funds to care for your children adequately, then you're going to run the risk of your children losing out. Do I make sense, guys? Let me see what my friends are saying here. Kenita says, my 16-year-old told me if I knew he could divorce me. He wants to emancipate himself from you. I tell him, bring the papers, come now. Kids can yes, I know. They can emancipate themselves and call themselves adult. They can emancipate themselves, call themselves adult, move out. You have no jurisdiction over them anymore. You cannot tell them what to do, when to go, where to come. But in that case, they're not going to be under my roof. So if you want your adult life to start early, it's up to you. You can choose to emancipate yourself from me, start your adult life early, and keep moving. No love lost. We can work like that. But I mean, once you stay under my roof, I have a responsibility to ensure that when I send you out from under my roof into society, you are equipped, and I have prepared you to be a positively functioning member of society. Not somebody who's going to go out there and try to find a woman to trick, to rob, to steal, to become a menace to society. No. And we have to make plans for our children. We can't just have them because God give us the parts to be able to have them. We can't just have them just like that. No. We have to have plans in place for them rather than just have them and leave them onto society, make them be society's problem. Okay? Let me see what my friend Laura says. Laura says, I've made it very clear to my boys, when you are done high school, if you don't go to university, I won't kick you out, but you will get a job and you will pay rent and contribute to the household. Everybody agree with me, guys? With Laura, guys? Yes, Laura says she has told her boys, when you leave high school, if you don't go to university, I won't kick you out, but you will have to get a job, pay rent, and contribute to the household. I agree. I agree. I never did that with my kids. I can agree with you, just that I don't have to do it. But I never did that with my kids. I just I made sure that I never charged my kids rent or that sort of thing. I just made sure that they understood that I'm going to be facilitating you to get yourself into a better position. I don't want you to be just staying home, not doing anything, because devil find work for idle hands. Okay? And we have so many young men in our society these days, young men and women, who the devil finding work for their idle hands because they don't have anything doing. Parents don't ensure that they leave high school. Parents don't ensure that they go do something meaningful. Not everybody's going to go to university. But find them into a community college, find them into a trade or some sort. There are lots and lots of resources around if we just look for it, you know. So rather than having our children just floating around in society purposelessly, hopelessly, we have to have a plan for them. Because you know something, guys, I will tell you this. A lot of these children, you know, they don't have any plans for themselves. A lot of children have absolutely no plans for themselves. They are going to high school, okay, and they know they're going to high school. Once they get out of high school, a lot of them are like, where do I go now? What do I do now? So as parents, it is our responsibility to make sure we need to tap into our children's abilities, into their talents, and start to mold those talents from a young age so they can decide what they're going to do when they get older. And you might have to decide for them and push them in the direction. So I'm going to tell you about my baby boy. My baby boy is now 20. My baby boy, since he was as young as I could remember, I started teaching him how to play the piano. I'm not a pianist, but I know a little. And I started teaching him how to play, you know, little Myriad, a little lamb, little stuff like that. And since that kid was like 3 years old, he is playing by ear. He hears it played and he can play it. He's playing Beethoven, he's playing all those like Ode to Joy, that kind of thing, stuff that I myself can't do, you know. And then when he got older, Sheldon says he's a big man and he just figuring out what he wants to do. You're going to have to share that with me. Yes, Kenida, some of them are clueless. The kids don't know what they want. And when my son was in high school, I kept asking him, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? I don't know, mommy. I don't know. He plays the piano beautifully. He can build a computer. Since he was maybe like 14, 15, you can't keep a computer in the house. He pull them down and he build a new one. You understand? So I said, okay, I see that, you know, this is what you love to do. You love to play the piano, but you don't want to go any further with that. Okay, you want to just play it for fun. Go ahead. But you have to find something that you're going to live off of. And he likes the computers. I says, okay, you want to go to college to study computer? He's worried about going to college. So I said, all right, I know of a very good place that will help you to harvest these skills that you have with the computer. And that place is the military. And he goes, oh, I don't want to go to no military. I said, really? So I called the recruiter and I gave the recruiter his number. Oh, yes. And the recruiter called him. And he was like, Mom, why you give the recruiters my number? So you can have a conversation with them. Because I've already had a conversation with them. And you have two choices. You can either go or you can either leave my house. Or you can go, but you can't. How long you think you're going to stay in my house? What you going to do? What are you going to do? You say you don't want to go to college. You don't want to continue with the music. You want to sit in the room, play games. And I say, I'm not working. You can't do that. No. You have skills. You need to go to a place where you can harvest those skills, and use them in a positive way, in a way that is going to enrich your life. That's what you're going to do. And so, my friends, off I chuck him. Off I chuck him. Up to the last time I spoke to him, he tell me, "Oh, Mom, you don't know much. I thank you." I said, I bet you do, huh? Uh-huh. Said, if you didn't put me out there, I would probably still be sitting in my room playing games. I said, I bet you would be, but not in my house. So I tell you guys that as mothers, we have to have a plan for them, because they're going to tell you they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that. But you have to look to see where their skills are. Where it is that they have, where is it that they have what they have an affinity towards. Some kids might love the kitchen, they might love to cook. Some kids might, you try to seek out a culinary program for them. They love to do music. You seek out somewhere in the arts for them. You have to help them. There are lots of different ways that they can function in society as productive members, because we have to agree that not everybody is going to go to college and get a degree and all of that. Not everybody is going to do that. But everybody, my thing is, not everybody is going to go to college, but I believe that everybody can contribute to society in a positive way. Everybody. You don't have to go kill and rob and steal and do all of that. No, you don't have to do that. There is a place, a positively functioning place for everybody in society. Let me see what my friends are saying here. Laura says trades are very respectable jobs and very important jobs. Exactly. I mean, and there are trade schools where we can always send our children to go get a trade. Some kids love cars. Send them to go learn how to work on cars. They might start to design cars. They might come up with a new prototype. You never know. Not everybody is going to be a lawyer, doctor, judge, a nurse, a teacher. Not everybody is going to go there. There are other ways. And there are other people we need in society, not just people who go to college to do nursing and being a doctor and lawyer and all of that. There are needs. We have other needs in society. We need plumbers. We need electricians. We need people working on the AC. But what we do need is people who can contribute to society in a positive fashion. Not people who are just going to be out there causing trouble and making lives miserable, their lives and the lives of other people in society. Tush Pumpkin says, no, Kenita says, some kids are too stubborn. They don't listen. They drive you crazy. It is true. Some kids will drive you crazy. They will drive you crazy. Some of them, they don't listen. You give them an idea, you try to push them in one direction. They want to be antagonistic. You are pushing this way, they are pushing back. They don't want to go here, they don't want to do that. But leave it to them and say, okay, you don't want what I am doing. You don't want to do what I am telling you to do. So tell me, darling, what is it that you want to do? And you will find out to them, I don't know. What do you mean by you don't know? If I am giving you an option and you don't want the option I'm giving you, then it sounds like you have another option for yourself. So tell me the option you have for yourself and let's work with it. They will still don't have an option for themselves. So sometimes you have to take the bull by the horns, mothers. Take the bull by the horns and you say, listen, since you don't have a plan for yourself, I have a plan for you. And this is the plan I have for you. Oh, yes. This is the plan I have for you. And you find the plan, because If you send them, if you say I'm going to send them to college, you're going to send them off to whether boarding college or they're going to leave home every day, travel to college or whatever. You are going to have to supervise them still. You'll be surprised to know that you have children going to college, and as a mother, you still have to be supervising them if they're coming home every day to say, do your homework, do this, do that, do this, do that. But as Kenita said, I gave her an idea to send them to the army. Yep. Send them there, make them go get some discipline. Send them there. Thank you, Laura. I try my best. I try. Send them somewhere where they're going to be useful. Because trust and believe me, guys, if you don't make plans, before I go, this is what I have to say to us mothers here and fathers. If you don't make plans for what your children are going to do, and your children can't come up with a good plan about what they are going to do, so is that my girlfriend Alan chick there? Hey sugar, how you doing? Let me tell you all something. Society will find something for them to do. Trust me. Trust me. Yes, Kenita said, plead the blood of... Yes, I agree. Yes. Plead the blood of Jesus. Slush Pumpkin said, you can't be in my house and workless. I agree. Yes. I'm not raise no workless pitney. I'm not raise nobody if it can be a problem to society. No. No. No, no, no. You're not gonna be coming out of my house to be a problem to society. When you come out of my house, when I put you through the door, you're going to be able to function in society as a positively contributing member. Not a member who is going out there causing grief to other people. Because trust me, you think they have prisons for no reason? Do you think you see how these prisons are overcrowded with the population of colored people? You think that was a mistake, or that was by chance? That was a systemic design. All right? So it is up to us mothers, up to us to cut it. It is up to us to ensure that they be looking for little black boys to put in prison and cannot find none. We have that responsibility. We can do that as mothers. Make them look and look and look, and they cannot find a little black boy to put in a prison. They would look and look and look till tomorrow, till next week, till next year. You understand? We have that responsibility. We can do that as mothers. And see if, give them some years and see if they wouldn't have to. They wouldn't have to change something. Yes. Because they don't build them prison. There's lots of prisons. They build them for the children that are coming out of our wombs. You understand? For them to end up in those prisons. That's what they build them for. Let's see who just rolled up in here. Who rolled up in here? Let me see who came in just now. Okay. All right. I see. Lady B, Unstoppable. Lady B, that's you, Lady B. Look at your car. Lady B just rolled up. Lady, oh, G's here. Hey, G, what's up? Talk to me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for... Kenita says she'll get pregnant on her own, the men too. I agree, Kenita. I agree. You like your car? Your car is hot, right, Lady B? Yes, I agree, Kenita. You don't get pregnant on your own. The men have a responsibility as well. But you see, when I talk about the women. I talk about us women, because I know the burden that it has been when men decide to go about their business, when men decide that, they're going to do something that is going to erode the sanctity of a relationship, and a mother has to make a decision for herself and her children. I understand that perfectly fine. So when I talk about it, I talk about us women, what we do, because we are the pillar of strength. And a lot of times when we need our men to stand beside us, that's when they weasel away. And we can't weasel away. We have to stand there, put our shoulders to the wheel, and raise these children, with or without the men who help us to make them. So that's why when I talk mostly about women, us women, and our responsibility as mothers, and what we are supposed to do, what our contribution is supposed to be to our children. Because a lot of times children stay with mommy until they go out in the world. There are some children who end up staying with daddy for whatever reason, but children usually stay with mommy until they go out into the world. And thank you so much, Lady B. Thank you so much. Yes, Laura, So as I was saying, that we as mothers have the responsibility. Men do too, but we as mothers need to make sure that our children, when we send them out from under our wings, when we cut that apron string and let them out into the world, we are sending them out into the world prepared to be able to care for themselves. Now, imagine a child. Let me just say this before I leave. Imagine a child, 18 years old, turns 18, and mama says, well, now, John, you are 18 years old. Society say you are an adult. You just graduate high school. Time to go. And you put that kid out. This kid don't have any trade, doesn't have a profession. This kid is just leaving high school. What is the plan? All right, you chuck this kid out onto society. He must find a place to live. He must find a job. Say this is a boy child. All right, you chuck this child out. He's 18 years old. He goes to find a job. I'm going to just use, say, McDonald's for argument's sake. He gets a job at McDonald's. We're going to say $8 an hour for argument's sake. He gets a job at McDonald's, $8 an hour. Calculate it, guys. Calculate with me. 40 hours a week. 4 8 32. That's $320 a week. All right? After taxes, I agree, Stush Pumpkin. After taxes, say that kid comes home with, say, $250. $250 for the week. For the 2 weeks, it's $500. For the month, it's $1,000. My math is correct. My math sounds like it's correct. Okay? $1,000 in 30 days. You all see the price of rent these days? So this kid is renting someplace. Say he rents a little 1-bedroom somewhere. Somebody rent him a little 1-bedroom for, say, $500. He's paying $500. He has $500 left. He has to pay light. He has to pay water. He has to pay phone. All right? He has to find transportation to get to work, to and from work. Okay? He might need cable. Who knows what he has to pay? But if you just add on all those little extra things that he's going to have to pay for, minus the rent, you realize that at the end of a month, this child is running on negative, way negative. When this child is running now on negative, are they going to see the job as being worth it? No. It's going to be like, what am I working for? What am I doing? I'm going to work every day, working 40 hours a week, busting my chops to work. And then at the end of the month, after I pay my rent, pay my light, pay my water, pay my phone, pay my cable, and pay bus fare to go to work, And if say you help the child get a little old car, they're going to have to pay insurance and all of that. They don't have nothing left. They're like, what am I doing? So at that point, working does not seem fruitful. You get what I'm saying? Topaz is here. All right, Topaz rolled up. Topaz rolled up. What did Topaz roll up in? All right, in his service van. Topaz is rolling up in his service van. Welcome to Topaz. There you go. There you go. Yes, Topaz says a great education and character are greatly needed for the kid to make it in life. And that is for sure. Fast money will be knocking at their door. That's what Stush Pumpkin said. Fast money. You all understand what we mean? Yes. Fast money will be knocking at their door because they see that they are working and they don't see what the working is for because there is nothing that they can show for it because every month they work but they still run in the negative. So imagine that kid now has to work 2 jobs just to survive out there. So that kid's now working 2 jobs just to survive. Do you think that kid is ever going to see the value in leaving that circumstance to go to college? Tell me, guys, do you think so? That kid is not going to. No, that kid is not going to leave. Is not going to see the purpose in going to college because to go to college you have to be able to care for yourself. If he's working already, and every month he's in the negative, the poor child needs some help. Now can you imagine now this young man now he's going to find a girlfriend, they're going to start talking, the next thing you know somebody gonna get pregnant. Now you see how the life now becomes harder. Yeah, because now, what they're going to do, daycare not cheap. So you see how we spiral into poverty from the decisions that we make for our children? That's how we help them to spiral into poverty. And that shouldn't be our contribution to our children. That should not be our legacy to our children. We cannot bond them in poverty and help them to spiral further into poverty by not making decisions that is going to empower them and help them to be better human beings and to be contributing members, positively contributing members to society. All right? Did I say a lot? Did I talk too much? Maybe I did. But that was my sermon today. See, my mama wasn't able to join us today because she wasn't able to join us today. She said she wasn't feeling well, and I was so hoping that she would join us today and chat with me a little bit, but she did not. So so I was like, okay, my mom isn't feeling well. I know you're going to be looking forward to her, but since she's not feeling well, I just said, okay. I'm trying to find my song here. I can't find it. Anybody know what happened to it? I can't find it. Uh-oh. I lost it, guys. Stush Pumpkin said, Trev, you preach a whole sermon. Yes, and I hope that this sermon reached to somebody because I want women, us as women, to do better. I want us to do better, especially for our children. We can't just dump them out on society just like that and expect society to finish raising them. We cannot do that. We have to put plans in place. You know another thing I was going to tell you all, guys. Do I have enough time? It's 6:30. I got to get to the people's job by 7 o'clock, guys. But let me just tell you this last thing. A lot of people don't believe in saving for their children. They don't believe in saving. Nobody give me nothing. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that a lot of times. Nobody ain't give me nothing. Me did have to work. Me did have to work for everything. So me not give no pitney. Make them go learn for work for themselves. You all ever heard that backward talking? I'm sure a lot of you have heard it before. Where parents say nobody never give them nothing. So them not have nothing to give to their children. And I think that is such a backward way to think. Because if nobody gave you anything, that should be the last thing you want to do for your children. So nobody gave you anything, but for your children, you are not going to give them anything because nobody gave you anything. So you're going to help them to continue this cycle of perpetuated poverty over and over. And then we have nothing, no generational wealth to build for our children, just poverty. Prison and poverty. We have to change. We have to bring forth a change, and the change starts with us as mothers and how we choose to send our children out into society. We as mothers, I hope fathers, please don't get offended, but we as mothers, we have a responsibility to make sure that when we send our children out from under our wings, they are capable of caring for themselves and contributing positively to society. All right, that's my take on that topic for tonight, guys. Let me see. There you go. That's what Sush Pumpkin says. Sush Pumpkin says, I want my children to surpass me. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. You want your children to do better than you did. You don't want your children. Oh my word, guys. If you all know what I'm looking for here, you don't want your children to be worse off. Yes, I hear people say that all the time. Nobody ain't give them nothing. So them not have nothing a dead left, you know, pitney. Like, are you kidding me? No, that's not how we do. We have to make sure that our children come out better than us. Yes, I agree with you. Here comes Foreign TTB. Foreign TTB just rolled up when the sermon is about to be over. I don't know what happened. His car was sputtering, guys. Foreign TTB, this is your car. Your car was sputtering. What happened? No gas? You didn't have any gas, so your car was sputtering, so it rolled up a little bit late. But it's here anyway. Okay, so Foreign TTB says there are variations to your topic. Certainly there are. Sometimes children could be born into comfortable means and reject it. Certainly that could happen. You are fortunate that your son listened and joined the military to win sex in life. I consider myself quite fortunate. Some children rebel so badly that they run away and leave their parents standing there wondering what happened. You know, there are some children who are highly rebellious and they will not listen. They will not listen. They are going to say, I'm not doing it and I'm not doing it. Well, thank God. Thank God my child didn't say that. And I'm not saying he couldn't. He probably could have. If he wanted to be rebellious, he probably could have. But he's not a rebellious child, and he never said that. And I'm happy that he took my instructions, and now he's happy with what he's doing. He can see his skills. He's getting better and better at his skills, and he's doing wonderful. And I am so happy and I'm proud of him. He's doing great at something that initially he didn't want to do, because he didn't want to go to the military. But now he's happy that he went, because he can see himself excelling and feeling better about himself and doing great and wonderful things. And I pray every day for him and the rest of them that they will continue to be positive members of society, contributing positively to society. Guys, I would love Foreign TTB. Sometimes mothers override the decision of fathers. You know what, Foreign TTB? That's going to be another discussion. Yes. Oh, okay, guys. All right. All right. So Topa says, when I was buying my place, the agent suggested I should ask my parents to help me with the down payment because I wanted it in a certain area. I a tear almost fell down because I know they could not help. Okay. Okay. All right. And Sush Pumpkin says, you plant the seed in your children for them to respect you and your decisions. Yes, I understand that. But sometimes there are some children who, these days with internet and everything, where they can always find other opinions right there, and they're going to value other opinions over yours and that sort of thing. We find that happening quite a lot. But I'm one of those lucky parents who haven't had too much of a big fight with my children. When they have fought with me for not doing what I want them to do, they have chosen to do something else positive. Just not what I chose, but something else positive. And I am happy that they were able to do that. I want to say thank you, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for coming, spending time with me this afternoon. I am sorry my mom wasn't able to join us this evening. She is not feeling up to it today. I don't know if she might feel better tomorrow morning when I get home. If she feels better tomorrow morning, we'll do maybe like a 30 minutes. If not, I'll do something else tomorrow sometime. But it is almost time for me to be at my job. Therefore, I am going to hop off of here and get on out of the house. I want to say thank you to everybody who joined me this evening, everybody who came. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. I hope you learned something from what I had to say this evening. Thank you to all of my friends, all the newbies, everybody who came to spend time with us this evening. Topaz, Tush Pumpkin, Foreign TTB, Laura from Laura's Kitchen, Kenita, Lady Margaret, there was Lady B was here. I saw so many people. I don't want to forget anybody. My friend Sheldon was here. Who else was here? Lady Margaret, Kenita, Alan Chick. My dear friend Alan Chick was here. So many of you were here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. There are lots of people who peeked in and peeked back out. Didn't say a word, didn't engage. Gare was here. Unstoppable was here. Always a pleasure to have you, Unstoppable. Always a pleasure to have each and every one of you coming in, guys. If you have not yet hit that like button, guys, please do so on your way out. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so on your way out as well. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to get notified. And for tonight, guys, go ahead, look through the videos I already have on my channel and leave your comments. Leave your likes and your comments. You won't offend me if you say exactly what you think about a video that I have put up on there. So thank you so much, guys. It was great being here. I always enjoy your company. So until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, reminding you to always take good care of yourselves and each other. Have a good night, guys. I gotta go get that bag, Stush Pumpkin. Have a good night, guys. Let there be love shared among us. Let there be love in our hearts. May now your peace fill this nation. Cause us, O Lord, to arise. Give us a fresh understanding of brotherly love that is real. Let there be love shared among us. Let there be love. Good night, guys.